Alright, Truth Lounge TV, we back.
TY?
TY over there. Of course, me, the new and improved PR.
New improved.
Yeah, new and improved. Yeah, so we bringing y'all this show. This is our first show going into the so-called Black History Month.
See them shirts, all black.
Which should be Black History year, every year for us. One thing y'all can always expect from Truth Lounge TV, we gonna always have something about us. It's because it's about us.
Yeah, melanated people, man.
Yeah, so we promoting us. Black history, everything, every motherfucking day, 365 days a year. But, we asking that y'all tune in, and we appreciate y'all tuning in. And asking y'all for some feedback on this one, for going forward for the next rest of the couple weeks that we're going to put out shows for Black History Month. What type of stuff y'all want us to talk about, what type of stuff y'all want to hear, see us doing or whatever, because we can always change location. That's one thing we always did, have been able to do. But getting straight into it, I think Black History Month is some bullshit. Point blank. The fuck they want us to celebrate 28 days out of 365.
But it's so funny because even out of 28 days, they only still teach you about the same old 3-4 of them. Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman. Shit, I don't really know who else they teach you about no more.
Yeah, they teach you about the passive niggas.
Yeah.
Now, Harriet Tubman wasn't passive, but they predominantly teach you about the passive niggas because they want us to stay a passive race, a passive demographic of people in this country, so we just accepting shit that they do to us and allowing shit to go their way at all times. I think on a couple shows we done talked about before, just so y'all know ahead of time, there are bills out there sitting on Congress's table to take the black man out of America. They don't want your kids, our grandkids to know about the things that our forefathers have struggled for. That we built this country, that we were slaves, that we have been dealing with multiple lies, propaganda, the misuse of power, the misuse of government for centuries.
But like I said, we go back to even just Kemet, which most people, they're going to be like, what the hell T.Y. talking about? That's Egypt. What they call Egypt, which is in Africa, which they try to convince you it's in the Middle East. So when you go look at the Sphinx, it's like, okay, I'm going off what Cat said, but he said some real shit. If it was that major, they could have just blew the head off. Why they shoot that nose off? That nose represented something that wasn't their nose. It was something different, so they had to shoot off something. Like I said, when you go look at that map, and it says Africa is 10 times bigger than what it shows on this map. Because like I said, when we got older and they start showing you every continent can fit in Africa, you go look on the map like that's not a lie. But then you find out it's every continent can fit into Africa, you're like, okay, yeah, they've been hoaxing us the whole time. So like I say, it's easy to, like I say right now, I ask people this question all the time. Who are the most people in the world?
Who are the most people in the world?
Who do they tell you got the biggest population?
I would say it's probably Indians.
Or China. That's what they always tell you, right?
Indians and China. Yeah, India and China.
But since Africa is considered a continent
of nations,
of countries,
yeah.
So they don't give you the whole diaspora. It's 4 billion Africans, so it's more Africans in the world than anybody else. You feel me?
Well, I think the reason they do it like that is because it's so big.
That's what I'm saying.
And they're talking about, like, China isn't a continent. China's a country. India is a continent. India's a country. But if you go by country in Africa, then they still would be the largest populated country.
But that's what I'm saying. That's another way.
Populated.
But like we said, think about it. For them to do that control, they have to make you think that you're
misinformation.
Yeah. So to make you think that you are the minority in the world, we can't let you know it's this many of y'all that you know what I mean. It confuses you. Like when people talk about black cities, people don't understand the first black city in America was Detroit. Detroit was predominantly black. It thrived. You go up to Detroit, them black people up there in Detroit. I don't know if you had uncles and aunties that lived up there. If you ever go visit people in Detroit, them black people up there used to live well, man.
A lot of cities up north. where
Gary,
they had
Indiana.
Mills.
Gary,
and,
Indiana, man.
after the Civil War and all of that, that's where opportunity was for black people, and so they went up there and took the advantage of that. Like people always say, one thing what's his name, Killer Mike. I watched the little summit thing they had. I think it was last year, or the year before, and a lot of us don't understand. Like people will say Donald Trump's slogan, "Make America Great Again." When was it ever great for us, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know. Just like Killer Mike said, it was great for us.
Mm-hmm.
After the Civil War, and I'm kind of paraphrasing what he said.
Right.
But once I heard it, I looked more into it, and it made so much sense. We were the only skilled labor in this country.
Oh yeah.
There was no white people didn't create anything. White people
I'm happy you say that.
didn't build shit.
I just pulled up the list because I wanted to name a few people out the list, but go ahead.
Yeah, so it was great for us at one point in time.
Yeah.
It was, we allowed different power structures to come in and tear down what we was able to try to build up. How do you think there was ever a Black Wall Street? Something had to be good, progressive, opportunistic for them to build a city like that.
Well,
and it wasn't just, Black Wall Street wasn't just one place.
Right.
I mean, that's what they called that one.
Yeah.
But you had other cities built just like that city. You had, what was it, a city in, I think it was either in, I can't remember where it was at, but they did the same thing there.
Central Park, a prime example. Central Park was a well-funded black community, and they moved the black people out of it and made it a park. They built all the rich shit around there. So just imagine that the black people still be there. Most of that shit would probably be theirs, man. So it's like you said.
Same thing with Chicago. With gentrification is taking all of the black communities. And it's all in those prominent. They want to build up by the lake in Chicago. That's what they wanted to do. And they done built the lake up. It looked nice. And you see where I grew up at on 35th and Cottage Grove, you never saw them vampires come through there riding bikes. They was getting their bikes took and they was getting knocked out running through there.
We was taking bikes, so I feel you. Yeah, he really.
But now you go down there in this era on 35th and at the lake, white people running in shorts.
When last time you been to Chicago?
Last time I was in Chicago was a couple years ago.
Have you seen how far they extended Lake Michigan now?
I haven't. I ain't really going Lake, but once I saw what they did
Lake
at 35th.
Michigan go all the way to 95th, bro.
Damn.
They
past Lakeshore Drive, they got the walkway.
They carved all that back out, bro. They trying to, and it's all that's for sale for condos because this is where it get funny at. If the vampires can get this area, raise it up. I'm talking, bro, all that by because remember you go by 79th Street. As soon as you get by Rainbow, all that stopped. The lakefront literally stopped. They carved all that out.
They built all that up.
You feel me?
Well,
but all that's poor neighborhood. So if we start building these $1 million
they want
condos,
you to keep. Them condos probably expensive. They want you to run your community down so the prices go down, so they can come in and buy cheap, build up, and say, "Oh, I saved the community. I put this money in this community." But that's
it ain't
bullshit.
safe. It ain't really safe too, because like they said, and it's so sad because you look like, man, gentrification. It do look nice, but we not a part of it. Cause you go back to some of your old neighborhoods, like when you go over there and look.
We on the
Cabrini
short
Green,
end of the stick of gentrification, wherever it's at.
Where Cabrini Green at? You see how good that shit look? Just imagine if black people still had that.
We're on the short end of the gentrification stick, wherever gentrification hits.
And if they do, we gotta get vouchers, and we can only stay here a certain amount of time because of, as they called it, grandfathered in. You was here already for so many years.
They got some stupid ass rules for you. I don't.
Gotta take piss tests. I gotta take a piss test to live where I live.
Your baby father can't come over if he got a felony.
Shit
you
crazy.
get kicked out.
Shit
It's the
crazy.
same shit from back then to keep the black man and the black woman down. We just ain't catching it. They reclassifying old Jim Crow shit with new white vampire tags. That's it. To go ahead and press you. And we internally at war. And that's one of the things I hope that we can show y'all through this Black History segment that we're gonna do this month. As far as we're gonna try to highlight a few people from our past, present, and hopefully some of the people that we see doing something that's going to be productive, that we can say, man, I see this person being a major figure
Right.
for our community, for our people in so many years. And so hopefully we can be a part of the it's like, I won't say movement, just to say like we in a car.
The diaspora.
It's a bunch of cars.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of different cars, and we all driving in the same direction, but we all taking different routes to get there. And all black people in these cars, we just got to try to mold all these cars into one big ass car and make it more visible.
Like I said about us, because I remember a few episodes ago, I remember Mira asking what was our great ability, and I was like, our great ability is surviving and hustling. And she like, well, is that what it is? I was like, but that's the best thing about us, because you can just put us anywhere and we'll figure this shit out. There's some people right now, man, they are lost. They lost, man, and it's like, I'll be sitting there looking like, you got all the resources, you got all the help you need, you still can't figure this shit out. I literally got to figure this shit out with no pen and no paper. Then when I get pen, and when I do get some pen, I ain't got paper. Then when I get paper, I ain't got no pen. But then when I get the pen and the paper, it's still something that's making my art, my writing arduous, where I can't really read when I'm reading out. It's just like I'm getting it, but the track, like you say, the track that I'm on is just so many obstacles and hurdles, and it's just the art. Like I tell people, it's an arduous task. It's like we put in so much. And when we get to a certain age, that's why when y'all be like, man, why homie like that? It's because shit, he burnt out. We be, man, people don't understand, man. Me and P, we at that age, but I guarantee you, man, me and this man been working hard since we was teenagers. You feel me? And I know
one way, form, or fashion.
Yeah, and it's like work. And it's like, you think about it now, you get to that point where it's like, man, I'm tired. Like you, and then people be thinking you lazy or whatever, it ain't that I'm lazy. It's like, you don't know what the hell I've been doing to get to where I'm at.
And you never get a break. You never really get a break. Even when you feel like you're resting, you're not resting, because this is still moving. But like you say, said when Mira Beauty asked that question, you say struggling.
I say surviving and hustling.
Surviving and hustling is our major thing. I'm gonna change those two words. I would say the two biggest attributes of the black man and black woman's whole existence in America: enduring and thinking. We've endured more in oppression than any demographic of people in the world. Every demographic of people has been slaves before. So I ain't gonna harp on that.
Right.
But as an American citizen, a black American citizen, we've endured, or black American citizens, we've endured more oppression from multifaceted avenues. It ain't just one direction.
Yeah.
It's hundreds of directions that we are dealing with oppression. Now you can go over in Africa and say, yeah, it's people in Africa that's being oppressed by different regimes and governments and whatnot, but theirs is blatant and direct.
Yeah.
They ain't trying to manipulate. I'll kill you. I can kill you. It's death. It's death for do what the fuck I say over there.
Yeah.
We don't have them same options. We have a game where we're being toyed with, manipulated and puppetized to where we don't know what the fuck we're doing, who we are, where we're going, or none of that. They've learned, the vampires have learned how to manipulate our minds and our eyes, so they don't work in court, and they don't work together. If you can't think about what you're seeing, or you can't see what you're thinking, then to see what you're thinking is your vision.
No.
To think about what you're seeing is how to get to your vision.
Right.
One thing American, or I won't say American, Western society or civilization that we are on the bottom of, under all demographics of people, they've mastered taking our vision and controlling our vision. You see what I'm saying? Because they tell us what we see and what we can be, and we go for it.
Yeah.
They tell us what we can be and how far we can see. So with this Black History Month, I'm challenging everybody, us, read more books read a book about somebody black that you've never heard of.
Have you ever read the book called Invisible Man?
I believe I've skimmed over it, not read it. I think I skimmed over it in prison.
Yeah, it was a
I
pretty
ain't
good
read
book
it.
about the black man who he had everything going on and they couldn't see him, but soon as some bullshit happened, everybody saw him. So it was basically like how we go through society, like we can do all this good shit, nobody sees us, but the first time we make one minute mistake, it's on.
It's costly.
You know? Yeah, it's costly. It costs you everything, man. It's like I always tell people, man, I look at myself as a black person. I never ever wanted to be nothing else. I never looked at somebody on TV like, oh man, I wish my life was like that. And and that's I could say is one of the best things about being me, because it's like, or just being black period, because I don't think a lot of black people ever want to be, I don't see us trying to be like nobody else, but I see everybody trying to be like us.
That's a lie. Our women are buying hair.
Oh, okay, he gonna
Our women are. Now, granted, the black woman is the most amazingly built,
Yeah, right.
complexion-wise,
Right.
beautiful asset the earth has. Multitudes of other women are trying to follow and look in her footsteps. They want to get tans. They are getting
Trying to get thick.
They getting thick. They getting butt implants, breast implants. They getting a black man.
They getting braids.
They getting a black man. Shit, they getting braids.
Yeah.
Now, but we've been told, we've been hurt so much with words and visuals that our women chase. Our black women are trying to almost look like them while they're trying to look like us. You see what I'm saying? Now, you don't see that too much with the men. You got some of them dudes.
I mean,
they just want to be
corporate
black.
job, but I mean, you can understand them people that go work those little corporate jobs and all that. I can understand that because they got to play that. But I'm just saying, like, when it comes to just cultural wise, like when I go out here, I go to Mariachi Plaza. That's a Mexican mall. Half the Mexican dudes and they look just like me and you. Just like me. I'm talking about dressed to the T like me and you, bro. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
but that's not their culture.
we lead in
That's what I'm saying, but that's not their culture. You go to their country, look at their culture, nigga. They wear cowboy boots, still wear big.
Yeah, because they not
cowboy
selling. They not selling the same stuff over there. They not selling no. They got one Chicago Cubs hat in Guatemala, in the whole city in Guatemala. Shit, they can't find that shit. But I understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying. We lead in the representation of how of a visual.
The flyness.
Yeah,
we
all
control
that.
fly.
We control that. We can.
Yeah.
We. When you want to say, well, what's hot? Black people.
Okay.
Everything we do is something to follow
True.
on some type of plane. So all demographics of people, especially these younger age groups now, they're following. You got Asians, Latinos, Germans.
You work here. How many white women you seen come here with Jordan 1s on their feet?
You see a lot of them.
5 years ago, you never would have saw. That's what I'm just saying. I'm telling you, some have changed in these last
I mean,
few
because
years, man.
it's the new millennium. It's
Yeah.
a different. These vampires now were brought up under a different
You say
regime.
vampire, I'm sorry, but it takes a vampire. I feel like I just want to pull up a vampire on the screen going.
Yeah, put them up there, shit. But you gotta think, these vampires have been brought up under a different regime of racism and oppression.
True.
It's a different type of it now.
Yeah.
It's a more behind closed doors racism and oppression. It's a more behind closed doors separatism.
Right.
You could the type of racism or oppression now, you could live right next door to some vampires that you would think that they love you. How you doing? How your kids doing? Your kids play with their kids, but when they in that motherfucking house and that door closed, you are a different couple words, and it's a different attitude towards you than it is when y'all see each other. A lot of times that's based on fear, based off what they think of us instead of what they know of us. So
yeah, it's funny he say that because a lot of my customers, once they get to know me, they all say the same thing. I didn't know you was this cool, T.Y.
yeah, but you got a lot of your customers are like millennials too.
Yeah.
They're in that in our age range and
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
You ain't got no. You ain't going to that 60-year-old white man house.
I do, and they don't fuck with me.
Right,
They ain't even come out talking to
You know
me.
what you are?
Yeah, I already
You the
know.
help.
Yeah, I'm the help.
Get my
them
shit- get that
motherfuckers
shit
see me
done.
out there dying. They wives come out there. Are you thirsty, Mr. Todd? They didn't see me out there. Won't ask me for shit.
Hey, just like in the hotel.
Yeah.
I see them old, when they had them old vampire groups coming in, they look at everybody in this hotel that's in the hotel industry that I work in. They look at all people of a different color as you're nothing more than the help. They carry you like you're the help. They talk to you like you're the help. Especially that 60-year-old demographic and up. As when they're on the vampire side. Now you can run into some 60-year-old and up us or other demographic of people. I'm gonna tell you, it's so fucked up in America. Foreigners look down on me and you.
I know that.
That's the most. That's the biggest slap in the face.
I still don't get why
That-
Mexicans think he better than me.
I'm not even gonna say Mexicans.
No, I'm just.
You got Egyptians coming over here with their nose in there against you. You got Europeans coming over here with their nose in there against you. You got some Africans coming over here.
Well, I told
and
you
they
this
nose
before.
in there. Latino,
that
all that.
African dude showed me that tape. He just got up. He's from Nigeria, and he said when they came over here, they put them all in this room to give them, like, the ups about America. And he said he had to steal the tape because it blew his mind. They literally on the tape. They literally was telling them, don't mess with these kind of black people. And they were showing scenes from like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, people dressed like me and you. They were just showing a certain demographic. And I'm sitting here watching this tape like, this can't be real. He's like, no, I stole this, my friend. This is what they make all Africans watch when we come here. I'm like, what? So they telling you don't fuck with me? He like, yeah. I'm like, that's crazy. So I can imagine if the Mexican, because like I said, I'm black. And one day I sat in the house one day and watched all hood movies, y'all. I watched about 5 hood movies. And after I watched the movies, I literally said to myself, like, shit, if I was not black, I wouldn't fuck with black people neither. Because I was just trying to figure out why.
The images on the screen.
Yeah, I was like, why are these motherfuckers so scared of us? Like,
And everybody, all the movies you watch was based on what?
hood shit.
A true story.
True hood shit.
This is what it's supposed to be like. And a lot of times, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. That shit ain't real.
No, it ain't. It really ain't. It really ain't.
9 times out of 10, it's worse than what you're seeing on these movies, or it's lighter than what you're seeing. Your side of town in Chicago, I know about. My side of town in Chicago, I've been in some hoods all over this motherfucking country, all through the South, all up the East Coast. I've been in some hoods where you ain't seeing some of the shit that I done saw in no movie. Now you might see it in a Fast and Furious movie, some shit that's unbelievable. But you ain't seeing it in none of these urban movies that they making now. They ain't really telling no motherfucking true stories.
Oh, man.
They telling some shit that's fabricated to make it sound good. Nah, real.
It's funny you say that because like I was just telling somebody a story about something that happened to me when I was a young kid, and they looking at me like, that ain't really happening to you. I'm like, dude, like, why do I have to lie? Like, what am I getting out this story? If I'm telling you some tragedy that happened to me as a kid. It'd be different vice versa. I was telling you it was me that was doing the bullshit. The bullshit was getting done to me as an 8-year-old kid. I'm like, literally, I got a gun pulled on me as an 8-year-old kid on 112th and Wentworth. We was throwing rocks, and so happily, one of the rocks bounced off the pole, hit somebody's car. Dude was 16. I remember because I seen my friends run off. I'm like, you know what they running off for? So they're like, come on, Taiwan. So I go to run. I'm go running behind them. Next thing you know, some dude just grabbed me, threw me to the motherfucking building. He pulled out, like I said, I hate this gun to this day because this gun been pulled on me 3 times in my life. A 38 snub nose with a wooden handle. First time that gun got pulled on me, I was 8. Second time I had a gun pulled on me, I was 13. The last time I ever had a gun pulled on me in my life, I was 22 years old. And then that's when I realized, like, yeah, man, it ain't even about watch where you at, because this shit happened in places where I'm always at. Ain't like I was in the neighborhood I wasn't supposed to be at.
Well, you supposed to be, you was somewhere where you supposed to be.
I was somewhere I was
safe.
supposed to be.
Yeah,
you feel me? And then the last time that shit happened to me, I'm gonna keep it real. The way it happened, when I tell the story, it's so unbelievable. Like I said, it's in this shit happened in broad daylight, right off 69th and Jeffrey. It's people everywhere if you know how Jeffrey at. There's some people walking, you hit the 2 dudes that got me, you hear them laughing, they joking, you know what I mean, they conversation, but you ain't really paying attention to them. Like I said, down in Nashville, So people walking on the street, you're a little suspicious. But Chicago, you got thousands of people walking. So they going to walk past me, and as they walk past me, I ain't paying attention to them. But that's when I pay attention to them. Like, it was just two of them. Where the other one go? So that's when I went to turn. I turned my head to look, and I saw him behind me. And then when I turned around, the dude had the gun in my stomach. Like, yeah, nigga, we just saw what you did. I used to sell buzz. So all they got was like $50 from me. But then some niggas that I know, they pull up. They pull out a Mac 10, like, what up, little homie, they robbed, da-da-da. So the dude like, man, if you don't tell this nigga to get out of here, I'll shoot the shit out of you. And it's like, just imagine if the dudes that was over there was super irate. I could have lost my life just to the fact of dudes that seen me get robbed. So it's like just situations like that you grow up in, and people, like, you tell people these stories, they're like, nigga, that shit that happened in the movies. No, this is shit that happened in day-to-day shit in these communities, man, in black neighborhoods. And like I tell people, it's sad that like I tell people, when I talk about these bad stories that happened to me in my life, it's not one time I can say a Caucasian did nothing to me. And that's the sad part, where this shit have slipped around. Back in the day, it was nothing but white people doing these things to us. But now they have convinced us to hate each other so much that the person that's doing all the bullshit to me is my own people.
Well, that's what I was gonna try to kind of get into. You got to think, like, back in the day, we were together. You had community organizations like the Black Panthers, other small organizations in different cities that stood up against,
to the police. Yeah.
Not just to the police, but just to white people, period, to the vampires, period.
Yeah, right.
And politicians and all types of people, they actually had meaning, had value to the black community. Now these people don't have that value no more. And back then we was together. A community was a community. Everybody looked out for each other to some degree. Now a person is standing in a window and watch a motherfucker blow your brains out, and when the police come to their door, say, I ain't seen nothing.
Shit. Not even that.
I'm against snitching too. But at the end of the day, if you a citizen, do what you got to do. Like these niggas that out here that playing that part, hey, they all these niggas that you see on TV are actors and actresses. None of them are really out there doing that shit. You're not a millionaire. You don't have all these rappers. They don't have a lot of drugs. They don't have a lot of guns. They not out here gang banging. They lying.
But like you said, and if the ones you see where they ended up at. Them niggas they did some fed time, and luckily they got out and whatever happened.
All of them want to change their life after they done went to
but it's like right now, look what's going on with that young boy, Young Thug. His whole crew, he done put millions of dollars in these fools' pocket, and they all turn this back on him. Now he get to the point.
All of them did.
I ain't gonna say all of them, but just get to the point we just say.
You had that one. He sung like a bird. I forget his name.
Gunna.
No, not Gunna. The other one. I forget that nigga name. He said,
the one that was into the police, he went in there and told the other dude, like, man, come on, they got us on camera.
I don't know if that's what he did. I thought he was sitting in the West End. He was like, man, well, listen, I can get y'all murders. And this and
that. That he went in the other room and had dudes confess to it.
He probably did, but hey, back to what we was talking about. Black History Month, because we can get all the way off subject talking about all the negativity in our community, because it's definitely that, and it's all been it's a 100-and-something-year-old plan for the demise of the black community, black man, black woman, that we play our part in.
So it's funny you say that. I can't recall this book, 'cause I would read so many books, but the same tactic that the Europeans, when they came here, they put on the Indians. They said they will have the Indians tamed or murdered in 100 years. So when they implemented that with the black people, they say, "Oh, we can do that. We can do that in half."
Well, they ain't had no choice with the Indians, because the Indians stood together and
that's what I'm saying.
Let's kill them all.
So with the black people, they was like, they don't have no choice. So we can either do this in half.
They're not from this land.
They're not from this land, and we can do this in half the time. What they did to us, they did that in 60. It took them 68 years to get us in the position that we in. They fought them Indians tooth and nail. General Custer Last Stand, y'all look that up. That's one of the greatest battles, and they lost. You know what I mean? So it's like you look back on history, and then it like you say, you brought up Nat Turner earlier. Them dudes went and killed 8, 9 slave masters, killed over 72 people. But
they was running down through Virginia and North Carolina.
They had to go get the army to hunt this man down. You know what I mean? So it's like when you look at it, like I tell people, you go look back even at the census, the year slavery ended. Like I say, that shit blow my mind, y'all. Google this shit. Yeah, when you look at the census back in the day with slavery, it was 800,000 enslaved Africans in Mississippi. The population of white people wasn't no more than 100,000. So I always be like, what the fuck was going on? But I was like, years and years of shit. You buck up and I kill a few of them. I'm like, hold on, man. So I can, like I say, that gun, you know, it plays such an instrumental part on us. And then look how they reversed the gun on us, where we couldn't use guns, buy guns, and then look where we at with the gun now. You know, so it's like this history period, like how they just, everything just get washed and repeated with us, but in the reverse way. You know what I mean? Like how we was together, now we not together, how we use guns for protection against them. Now it's like, shit, I'm using my gun against you for no reason. You know, so I don't know. It's like it's so confused with us with this, man. You know?
It's part of their plan. Like I said, they've taken the vision of the black people and manipulated what that vision should look like on the back end, and the back end of what the vision of black people. I won't say as a mass of people as a whole, but a lot of these this new millennium and this younger vision, self is about what I can do, what I'm doing, self. It's nothing about coming together. It's nothing about building together. It's about what I can do on my own. You see what I'm saying? And who I can sell out or who I can step on to get there. It's just a fucked up way to think about living. And it's the fucked up way that we've been living for centuries, in decades, basically, as a whole, as black people. So it's now time for all of that to, at some point, everything comes to an end. So either we're going to come to an end or that's going to come to an end, because the only thing we're doing is creating our own demise by consistently staying within the realm of their game. It's like a chessboard. We are the pawns, and we're constantly being moved and maneuvered around. But at the end of the day, at the most chess games end with all the pawns off the board. You don't win a game. You will rarely see a chess game winner with all his pawns, or with predominantly most of his pawns on the board. Why? The pawns are sacrifices to set up for the other people to go ahead and attack or defend.
Right.
And in America, black people have become the pawns in anything and everything: entertainment, music, business, marketing, whatever it is. Black people are the pawns to sell products, to everything. We move shit.
Yeah, like
we control shit. We just don't know how to come together to actually amass or take charge of that joystick. They sit back with the joystick like this while we moving around. We running around. If we knew how to take that joystick and control it, then we'd move that motherfucker out the seat. The joystick would be the game would be a whole much more even. But even when we give a motherfucker an opportunity to get the joystick and put him in a political office, he get a joystick right back to the motherfucking vampire and say, "Here, I'm here for you, master." Yeah. So that's one of the things that I would hope we do this year going forward, man. Get into politics, because politics do pay dividends for us. Even though I don't really believe that, like it take a whole lot, because they're hiding the good people and promoting the bad people. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, honestly, even when you just like shit, I think about Chicago. Like the only time I can ever think somebody did something good for black people was Harold Washington. Look how fast they got him up out of there. They killed that man in office. You know, the whole east side of Chicago. He built the whole east side of Chicago, all them apartments over there off Stony Island. He built all that. They got plaques over there that literally say this community was built by Harold Washington. It's a beautiful community over there.
That's why I be like, where the fuck did they get Obama from? What did Obama do? Nothing. He gave America hope. I give you that.
That's about it.
He became the president. A black man or black woman or black child can be anything that you want to be. You can reach the top, the epitome of anything, given your whatever you're willing to. If you apply yourself properly. You know how many motherfuckers. So he's one. You got to think about, to say that you could make it to that point, you've only had one witness, one person that did it, right? Out of how many billions of people, black people that done been in this country from slavery to now. So what are the odds of that really happening? Now you can't say that with white people, well, my bad, vampires, because vampires been the other 40-something presidents.
Yeah.
They can say our chances of doing this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But your odds are 1 in a billion.
We barely get governor jobs. We happy with them little mayor jobs.
Senator or governor.
Look, we happy with them little mayor jobs. I run the city. Shit, go run the state.
And you don't even run the
You
city.
don't even run the city, yeah.
You just a face.
Yeah.
Because and this is like I said in our last show, I want to try to amass myself or find a way to mix myself up in politics so I can try to help make a change in some type of way, because I know that's going to be the only route. If you don't play the game, then you're going to always be a piece of the game. So, but there's a saying, you can't expect your oppressor to give you anything if he's always going to be the oppressor. You see what I'm saying? If he's always going to be in control of how you eat, where you get your check, how you take care of your family, how you keep your lights on, how you progress, if it's always going to be somebody right here and you going to stay right here, then you can't expect that motherfucker right there to lift you up and pull you out of that spot. You see what I'm saying? But what we do as a people, we continue to rely on the government officials, people pandering for our votes, black, white, Asian, I don't give a fuck what color they are. We continue to allow these people or these people to position themselves as the spokesperson for me and you and our families, and the benefits for our families later on down in life, the things that they say they're willing to do, but they never accomplish anything in these offices.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's
Obama
true.
got in the #1 office in the world and couldn't accomplish shit, and black people make reasons for him not being able to do it. Oh, he had Congress against him. It don't make no fucking difference. You was the first and you gonna definitely be the last.
And you see, we can't say that because look how Donald Trump changed so much shit. He nigga, fuck it, I can executive order.
Well, see,
Executive order.
one thing about Donald Trump, Donald Trump is not a real politician.
Right.
See, these other people are real politicians. They play the political game.
Yeah.
Donald Trump ain't playing the political game. Donald Trump just being Donald Trump. That's what people don't realize. He's gonna just be himself.
Right.
He's gonna have a fucked up mouth. He's gonna have a fucked up opinion. He's gonna have a fucked up way of putting his words together because he's not political correct.
Nah.
These politicians, they went to school to say what you want to hear, to manipulate you with words and their thinking. That's why I say I'm gonna change your words. The things that black people have accomplished the most in America is enduring
and thinking.
Yeah. Because we built this motherfucker and we endured all the possible hurdles, pitfalls, murders, everything that they put up against us. We still fucking here.
So earlier, P had mentioned the workforce, and like I try to explain to a lot of people about the workforce, like you said, once that shit ended, only people that knew how to do everything was black people.
Yeah.
So
after the Civil War,
the white man was out of job, so that's how the union got created. They was like, well, shit, we gotta secure our jobs, so they created this union. But then you go look at most of the union-based jobs, they ain't really doing shit.
They created unions and didn't accept us in the unions, and we were the people that were training them.
For the jobs.
For the skilled labor.
Yeah.
They went to Cephas, your grandfather Cephas, or your great granddaddy, whatever their names was. Our great grandparents were the skilled laborers in this country after the Civil War that taught these vampires how to build machinery, how to build up a city, how to format politics. We built all of this in some type of way. We had more of a hand than they had. They just had the controlling hand.
Yeah. Like you said, the control in their hand. So I'm just gonna read a quick list because, like Pete said, with the inventions and everything, you know what I mean. Like even with it says Africans, but paper, chess, alphabet, medicine, civilization, Africans, the airplane propeller, James Adams, the biscuit cutter. A.P. Asborn, the coin changer, James E. Barra, the rotary engine, Andrew Beard, the car coupler, Andrew Beard, the letterbox, G.E. Beckett, the torpedo discharger, that's what they shoot from the submarine.
Man,
that's H.B. Bradbury. Man, shoot
that list ain't
machine.
probably everything.
Yeah, I mean the pencil sharpener, window cleaner, pressure cooker. I mean 2-cycle engine, air conditioning unit, eye protection, the ladder and the gas burner, horse shadow, like video commander. It's like ice cream, blood plasma. Like we created so much stuff, but we don't get the recognition for it because in the long run, even though we curated, we may not have the resources to actually fund it, so we had to go over here to my man. So it's like people don't understand. Like you see what I read when I just named two of the main components to a car was built by a black man. The black man, I can't remember his name, but the black man who built the car, reason why he lost to Henry T. Ford is because George Washington Carver, who created the Peanut, he also created the assembly line. So he sold his idea of the assembly line to to Henry T. Ford, and that's how Henry T. Ford was able to manufacture all those cars at that mass production level over the black guy. The black guy was probably producing 2-3 cars a year, where they was putting out hundreds of cars a year just because of another black man helping the white man get ahead. So a lot of people don't even know George Washington because they don't want you to think about George Washington Carver because he created the peanut, and that's why a lot of white people always thought they got peanut allergies because they don't want to eat something the nigga created. I'm telling you, they be like, I got peanut allergies quick as hell. That's because the nigga created it. I'm trying to tell you, man.
But you got so many things that black people create, stuff that we still use today that we wouldn't know how to move around without. The red, green, and yellow light.
Yeah.
First open heart surgery.
Yeah. Charles Drew.
You got it's so much that if you don't know, you could just pick up a book and you can just type stuff in. You got a fucking thesaurus, dictionary, encyclopedia in your hand every day.
But half the people wouldn't even believe this stuff. Like I'm reading this, man.
Like a lot of people don't believe, but it's history, known fact. The first president of the 13 colonies, before we became a United States, was a black man.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name was John Lucas.
I heard that shit before.
Yeah. When it was the 13... See, racism didn't come over here. If you read back certain books, racism didn't come to America. Now, when they came over here, they came as... The vampires came as a group of people that were used to conquering people. Because that was their history. From Greece to Rome to Britain to England. That was just what they've always done. They didn't know anything else. They wasn't trying to enslave people or nothing like that.
Right.
They just knew, take it.
Beat your
take
ass.
it.
Yeah.
Kill them and take it.
Yeah.
Because that was what everybody done in those times. When you went to war with another country, you killed and you won. You killed all the men and all the boys and impregnated the women.
Or you enslaved some of them guys too.
You enslaved some of them, but what you did, and they indoctrinated them to your religion, your way of living, and everything. So you kill their heritage.
Stop their bloodline.
Stop their bloodlines. All that. That's what they was doing. Yeah. Persians was doing it. Africans was doing it. Everybody in the world was doing the same thing. This is how, in that time, it was just conquer. If I'm going to go somewhere into a new country and start over, I'm going to conquer it. So slavery wasn't brought over here. Racism, my bad. Racism wasn't brought over. Slavery was brought over here. It was brought from another country because they was doing slavery over there. But racism, what? The first slaves over here was indentured servants. Well, it was indentured servants, and they was white, they were black, because you had black people in England when they came over here that were in high stand.
Moors.
You had the Moors, but you had black people in England that was in good standing.
Okay.
With everybody.
Okay.
There was no his complexion. He might have had some people that thought different of him because he was different looking, but you had people that respected people of color in those countries. But when they got over here, they first tried the indentured servant shit. That shit didn't work. From there, they went to, I think they tried the Indians. The Indians bucked. And once the Indians started fighting it off, they just said, okay, well, we're going to have to kill them because they killing us. Because the Indians was like, hey, we not gonna let you just kill us. We're not gonna let you just take our shit. This is because everything with Indians was spiritual and holy.
Yeah.
So they took it as a you disgrace. It's a disgrace and a disrespect, and so they was fighting.
I mean, look how Buffalo don't roam America no more. Buffalo used to be here. White man came here and wiped them out. Indian like, hold up, cuz you can't kill all of Buffalo. He like, hold on, nigga, we need help.
They endangered species by now, huh?
Yeah.
I you just make me think about that.
Yeah.
But like then you know, after the Indians, they tried the Irish.
Mm-hmm.
They brought the Irish over here because they was a lower demographic of people to them at the time, so they brought them over here and tried to make them slaves. They didn't work. That's when these motherfuckers right here can stand out in the sun all day, barely sweat. That's trying.
On the real.
And that's how slavery started. Because if you read other books, you'll realize you had slave traders that was black. One of the richest slave traders in the Caribbean was a black man.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. I read a book about him. But as I was saying, racism was
Mansa
taught.
Musa had slaves. He was the richest.
Well, I mean,
in the
but
world.
he had slaves in his country where they had conquered people. I'm talking about but traveling them over here to be slaves.
So
to
quick
another.
side note, I just want to throw this in there because you was talking about that with the when they brought them over here with the whole slavery thing, with how they couldn't get the Indians and they tried the Irish people. See, I'm gonna make a quick side note. This ain't got nothing to do with Black history, but the Irish people, when you go to Mexico, it's a whole culture of white Mexicans. Canelo. You look at Canelo Alvarez, if you didn't speak, you would think he was a white boy. Those are the Irish people. When they was fighting the Mexican-American War, the Irish people started thinking like, hold on, y'all was just fucking us up. Now you want us to fight these people? Nah, we just gonna stay here. So that all those Ireland people, it was over 60,000 Irelanders in the war. All of them left and stayed there in Mexico. Same with the Vietnam War. When they sent all them niggas over there, and them Vietnam people like,
You got some Vietnamese over there like, where my daddy at?
yeah, like, hold on, what's wrong? We didn't like the vampires. So they're like, hold on, so you ain't got a problem with me. So a lot of black people stayed over there. So you go to somewhere and you get that acceptance. Yeah, you get that acceptance, man. You know, so you know we try to lead this part, but my bad, P. I just want to bring that up because I know a lot of people don't understand about about those. The islands where they went, they actually went to Mexico. Like,
but that's how that's pretty much the makeup of the world now. Everybody is tainted with somebody else's heritage.
Right.
And it's because wars conquer and war and conquer, war and conquer. But we as the people in the United States, racism was taught over here, and it just like anything can be taught. I guess it's the saying that you can forgive it, like you can forgive and forget. You can never unteach racism. No. You can't unteach taking things out of the books in schools. You can't unteach what you done already did to us as a people. You don't have to tell us. You don't have to. I mean, shit. Any of your books in these motherfucking curriculums anyway is bullshit. I never used algebra since I've been grown.
Never.
I've never used fractions since I've been grown.
Never.
And I make good money. And I make good money.
Can't get fractions right.
Right. I can't get none of that shit right. I've never had to use it. So you scam me there. You scam me with your social studies book telling me that Christopher Columbus discovered America. Mm-hmm. So everything that I've been taught, I won't say everything, a lot of the shit that I was taught as a child, and I went to Catholic school, you had black teachers, you had white nuns, black nuns, white pastors, black pastors, all of that. Everything I was told by any type of person that you put in front of me that considered themselves a teacher was lying to me.
It's so funny you said it, because like I say, the only classes that really, like you say, really meant something was science, because they teach you about real science shit, biology, physics, chemistry, and the basics of math, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. But like you said, all that algebra 1, trigonometry,
calculus.
I was taking trigonometry in high school.
I've never taken that shit.
I have not pulled out that goddamn calculator in how many years, bro? Even the calculator on your phone don't got them damn.
I've never taken that shit, and I don't want to see it.
You feel me?
I remember what pi is. I'm comfortable with that 3.14. I'm comfortable with that. I can say I know something about it.
And I know a few on the periodic table. AU is gold, OX is oxygen, HE is helium, but I don't know none of that shit on
Look,
there.
I looked at my lady's son was doing some math. He was doing some decimals and some fractions and some shit. And I just looked over his shoulder and was like, man. First thing came in my mind, damn, I'm dumber than a fucking 5th grader. Cause I don't know what that shit is.
Hold on, my kids made me feel embarrassed because my daughter asked me to help her with her homework. I'm sitting there really trying to help her. I'm calling people, and she looked at me and was like, "Mommy, boyfriend know how to do it." I was like, "Well, he might have to help you do this shit."
Yeah, I told him, man. I had a straight up conversation with him. Ain't no need you coming to me. Cause I can't help you. If anything, you gonna be teaching me some shit.
And then the way they teach them how to do math is so crazy. I'm like,
I don't even want to learn it. I know for a fact. I don't need it.
yeah.
I'm 48 years old. I make almost 6 figures. I don't need that shit. I don't need that to cut up my money, divide my money, multiply my money. I know where the decimal point's supposed to go.
It's paycheck A, it's pocket B.
Yeah.
See the bills.
I know when I look at that paycheck, or when I look at them different paychecks, that decimal point better be right there.
Right.
It better not be all the way over here.
Yeah.
That comma needs to be right here.
And if it is an extra we'll take that.
We got extra O. Yeah, we had.
We'll take that.
It could be an extra any number. We had it. Shit. But it better not. That decimal better not be a minus a O.
So since we talking about Black history, name one person that you would want to learn about that you don't know fully about.
I can't tell you about. Oh, okay. Well,
So a name you heard about that you never really did any real research heard about.
One person that I would really like to learn about that I don't know a lot about, that was a prominent figure in Black history, is what you're asking me.
Yeah.
Now or then?
Now and then.
Now and then, so you want two people?
Yeah.
Alright, back then, I think there's a lot of stuff I don't know about Malcolm X that I'm then trying to delve off or dive off into reading and just trying to understand his way of thinking and the multiple changes of direction his mind was taking him with everything that he was having to go through, experience being a leader, being a follower, being spiritual, being a radical, and being able to be a thinker and a lover of his people.
Yeah, true.
It's a lot of shit I would love to learn more about him. As far as now, I just don't see. It's nothing. And I'm not saying there's not somebody out there that I could learn something about or would want to learn something about. It's just my depictions of Black leadership, Black empowerment, and the people that I'm being showed, I could give a fuck less about.
True. I get you on that part. I don't really think it's a now. I would say.
I think it's a now. No, but he's a hidden gem.
Yeah, that's
he or she is a hidden gem somewhere where they don't want nobody to know about them.
Right. Mine for the past, I just know just a little bit about him, and I would like to know more because you didn't really hear his story a lot. Is Marcus Garvey. You know what I mean? Because dude did a lot. He bought cruise ships. He had a newspaper. He had buses. He just had a lot of stuff that was just strictly implemented for us, and we took that advantage. Like, still to this day, he set something up with Ghana, where if the Black people of America want to leave here and go to Africa, we actually got automatic citizenship in Ghana.
You know, they're asking for more Americans right now to move back over to Africa. A lot of countries are asking, and they're setting up things where, just like America has for foreigners to come over here, tax free. They helping you get jobs, because not only the one skill you have that you would never know that you have that can amass you a lot of money in a country in Africa is teaching English.
That is crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's something that they don't have a lot of.
Yeah.
And they want to be fluent in English so that they can not just always. If you ever notice a lot, and I'm pretty sure there's other videos of people, like when they talk to a lot of people in Africa, you can hear their accents. You can hear their dialects or whatever, from what part of Africa they come from when they try to speak it in English. But if you talk to a lot of the urban, well, I won't even say the urban, but the impoverished community kids that's in the city parts of the African cities, major African cities, they talk urban bullshit language. You got and this is off the subject. You got a singer over there that calls himself 50 Cent Son.
Yeah, okay,
And he's super rich. But he does nothing but talk about bullshit. And he ain't doing but buying jewelry. And you notice a lot of I'm gonna show you how the music industry is so fucked up. They have them over there beefing in their music now.
Oh yeah, I see that.
They've created
Trying to make
beef.
trying to make drill music with them too. Yeah.
They've created beef within their music with each other. Just like America is doing.
Same thing they did with the Jamaicans. They had them Jamaicans beefing like a motherfucker. Them dudes was cool as hell. But as soon as they started getting this American money, they started all beefing with each other hard as hell. Bougie, Bonton, and all of them. It's like, hold on, y'all always on songs together. What the hell going on? Oh, America money. You can't do this concept.
And America, world money.
Yeah, yeah.
World money.
So, well, as we talk about Black history, it's another thing too that always, with the women of Black history, you know, we had so many prominent Black women.
Strong sisters.
But one of them that before Kanye West said this, I was always always had this thought in my head, like, what if the reason they bragged, because you just, like I said, they always bragged about the ones that was passive and somewhat. We never really heard them talk about Sojourner Truth that much. We really didn't hear them talk about Malcolm X. We didn't really hear them talk about Marcus Garvey, Shirley Chisholm, the first one who wanted to be president. But you hear them talk about a woman like Harriet Tubman. Like I say, I'm not going off what Kanye West said. This is my own thought in my head. I was like, what if Harriet Tubman really was taking these niggas to be recalled, or they thinking they leaving the South going up north, but she probably had to deal with some people like, man, we need these jobs filled up here. Cause like I tell people, that's what the Civil War was all about. America, the North needed these warehouses filled, and the South was like, nah, we cool, we ain't releasing our niggas. They like it down here. It's bad. We whooping their ass, but they still good. Well, they was like, nah, we need them. We got Ford, GE, GMC, we need this shit. So that's why a lot of people don't understand. That's why the Civil War really was fought. Lincoln needed them slaves free because they needed to fill all these jobs that the white man wasn't gonna work. You know what I mean? So we get so blinded by that. Like even with the Emancipation Proclamation, they talk about 40 acres and a mule. People don't even understand. With the Emancipation Proclamation, with that 40 acre and a mule, you was gonna get your 40 acres and a mule, but that 40 acres and a mule was gonna be on this plantation.
But that's two different things though. Emancipation Proclamation only gave black people the right or the ability to fight for their freedom in war.
No, I'm just talking about with that whole, that's what I'm just saying.
Is that all their promises?
Yeah, but all they promises, but with that 40 acres and a mule, when they offered that to you, you still was gonna be
But
a
they
slave.
never offered that.
But I'm just saying the whole just of it though, like whatever they was,
It was more propaganda.
But I'm saying, but the propaganda was you're gonna have an acre on this plantation. And a mule to feed your family, but you still nigga gotta work.
You still gotta work my plantation.
Yeah,
my field.
So like I said, it sounded good when people like, I still want my 40 acres and a mule. Like, nah, you really don't.
And you probably had a few people that stayed in the South that actually got that, because you got some old, wealthy
black
folks in the South that didn't come from that just amassed wealth because they actually had some rights to some land.
Some land with the slaves.
Based off of what was passed down through
and Big
family.
Big Mama loved because he used to be going there slamming Big Mama and now I'm gonna put you in my wheel. My husband gonna die before me. I'm gonna leave you a little something. Cause I think about that too, and I think about when you just even think about the colorization of us, how dark they say we were. Then you look how we just amassed through the mulattoes, and it's like shit. Like I look at
everybody's tainted.
Yeah, look at my sister. My sister is super light skinned. Her daddy, mama white. You feel me? Mm-hmm. My daddy's daddy white.
My great grandfather.
So that's basically what I just said. When I said my daddy.
Yeah.
So
your grandfather?
My great grandfather white.
Yeah. My great grandfather was white. He's Scottish.
So you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Mine was Irish.
My great grandmother They all from Oklahoma originally, and they came to Chicago, and she was like Indian and something, and I'm a mutt. I'm a mixture of a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, I did it. Like I was saying, I just want us to win. I want us to come together so we can be exactly what we are. We are the omnipotent, strongest, smartest group of people and the biggest asset to Earth there is. But it's all about us coming together. And hopefully through this Black History programs that we're going to be putting out in these next couple of weeks with this one. This is just an introduction to what we're doing. So it was just pretty much random talking about a couple of things, just getting y'all prepared for the type of conversations that we're going to have and type of things we're going to highlight a different person from the past and the present that's black, that's doing things, that in our eyes that's doing things or did things to help try to put us in the right path, but we still on the wrong path. And so, you know, whatever else you got to say.
Well, I was just going to say, when I asked P that question, he said, and I didn't know of somebody as of now, if somebody that's watching this video and you know somebody that's making change right now, leave it in the comments so me and P can go do some research. We are always willing to learn. We want to get to know who are the movers and shakers really in our community and not just these athletes and celebrities, because they will manipulate you to be what you're not. And we need to find out the truth, because that's why you watching the Truth Lounge. So once again,
don't give us no bullshit ass people too, because if I take time out of my day to research this motherfucker and I find out he full of shit, I'm telling you, hey, I ain't got no problem with tearing nobody a new ass on this motherfucking camera. Hey, this free. Shit. I don't get paid for this shit. I do this shit because it's free.
And we like doing it. But like always, man, y'all enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed it.
Look forward to the next shows, all about Black History through February. We might keep it going because it's really a Black History year. Yeah. We just got to make it a Black History year. Fuck what they say.
And we definitely have a lot more shorts. And this year, we tried to implement it last year, but this year we will be getting a lot more words from the people on the street. So y'all can give a look. Because, you know, it's just me and Pierre point of view, but if we start getting more people on the street point of view, maybe it'll help you get a better point of view of what you're trying to get. But
more guests coming. We might end up having a new co-host, male, female, Asian, Martian. I don't know what the fuck it's gonna be. It might just be me and TY. But we definitely gonna have more guests for y'all, more hot topics, more things, you know, that all of us can relate to, some things that none of us can relate to. Some off the wall crazy shit, some real shit. We gonna keep it what it is, the truth line.
Okay.
It's always gonna be the truth, it's always gonna be real.
One more, if it's something y'all want us to talk about, let us know, because we will go there. Y'all already know how it go. Like always, one love from my homeboy P&T, and we gonna catch y'all later. Peace.
Happy Black History Month.